everyone, I'm Maki. When the Sea Destiny TV anime was being broadcast, something happened. It had been announced in advance that content related to the Mobile Suit Affiliation project would feature in the anime series. The story was heading towards its climax. It was announced that Forbidden Brew would appear in the Battle of Heaven's base. As promised, Forbidden Brew appeared in the story. According to the official settings released at the time, 4 Forbidden Brew units had been produced. 4 Forbidden Brew units appeared in the TV anime in accordance with this official setting. However, after the anime series had been broadcast, a spin-off story revealed that 2 of the Forbidden Brew units had leaked from the Earth Alliance. A new mobile suit was created in response to this incident. It is called the Forbidden Vortex. It looks almost exactly like the Forbidden Brew. The only difference is that there is no emblem on its armor. In effect, it is a mobile suit with the same appearance. This time, let's take a closer look at the Forbidden Vortex. To help you understand the settings more accurately, I will also explain a little about the Forbidden. Let's take a look together at what kind of strange mobile suit this really is. Please support my channel by subscribing for just 99 cents a month. In return, you will receive a name badge and comment stamps. Now, let's begin our study. After successfully gathering enough data from the experimental mobile suit Forbidden Brew, the Earth Alliance forces began developing an officially adopted mobile suit. The resulting machine was named the Forbidden. As I mentioned in the episode where I introduced Forbidden Brew, its ability to operate stably underwater was enhanced by the addition of water pressure-resistant titanium alloy armor around the cockpit. And that was not all. The frame structure was also significantly altered. The original Forbidden and Forbidden Brew used a frame designed for special specification mobile suits known as the 200 series. The Forbidden, however, adopted a new frame designed specifically for underwater operation, known as the 700 series. While no source provides the exact figures, it is stated that the new design increased both the possible diving depth and the amount of time it could remain underwater. Although its appearance is similar to that of a dagger-type mobile suit, its performance is actually improved over that of the Forbidden Brew, despite the impression that it has become weaker. Its weapons are mostly the same as those of the Forbidden Brew. The spikes on the left and right armor and the machine guns on the head and arms have been removed, but all the other weapons are identical. Devices called option latches have also been added to the arms and legs. The specific use of these devices is unclear, but the description states that different equipment can be added depending on the mission. The fact that its equipment can be changed more flexibly can also be considered an improvement in performance. The 700 series frame improves performance in more ways than one. It is also designed to be manufactured using parts from dagger-type mobile suits. This makes it possible to produce it using existing production facilities. Of course, the fact that it can share parts with dagger-type mobile suits deployed in the same unit also means that it has excellent repair and resupply characteristics. The deep, forbidden, and officially adopted mobile suit became a major threat to soft underwater mobile suits. Abyss Gundam was developed to counter the Earth Alliance forces underwater mobile suits. The Deep Forbidden is a powerful machine capable of influencing the enemy army's development plans. Now, let's look at the settings for Forbidden Vortex. As I explained earlier, it uses the 700 series frame. While its appearance is similar to Forbidden Blue, its internal structure is completely different. The MSV setting materials also state that it was mass-produced by strengthening the Forbidden Blue design. In other words, Forbidden Blue was modified to create a more powerful mobile suit, making use of technology from the design of the Forbidden. Of course, it uses water pressure-resistant titanium alloy armor around the cockpit. The reason for designing the mobile suit, like Forbidden Vortex, isn't clear. There is no clear description in any source. Naturally, the main reason was that the mobile suit appearing in the TV anime could not contradict the official settings. While this interpretation is reasonable, it is probably not very interesting. It may be possible to interpret the Deep Forbidden as having weaker attack power than the Forbidden Blue. The machine guns on the head and arms were removed, as were the spikes. Forbidden Vortex went to great lengths to remount these weapons despite the extra effort and cost involved. Fans might enjoy focusing on this difference in weapons and coming up with their own interpretations. Now, let's take a look at the role of the Forbidden Vortex in the story. Its weapons are identical to those of Forbidden Blue. If you are interested, check out the Forbidden Blue episode. As I mentioned earlier, the Forbidden Vortex was deployed in the Battle of Heaven's Base. It was deployed as a mobile suit by the Earth Alliance forces to protect the Logos leaders. Its enemies are the Zaft forces and the Earth Alliance forces that joined up to defeat Logos. Only a brief scene of its activity was shown in the TV anime, but the MSV story depicts its role in more detail. Zaft Special Forces unit aimed to infiltrate the submarine dock at Heaven Base. This was the operation I explained in the Gulf Crusher episode. Zaft's underwater unit advanced while towing the Gulf Crushers. There were 3 Zoku units equipped with underwater equipment called Naughty Looker. There were also 3 Zono units. There were also 5 Goon units. 1 underwater in called Wasp was in charge of such operations. Fate attempted to infiltrate the base while being protected by a total of 12 mobile suits. The ones standing in the way were Forbidden Vortex units. The exact number of Forbidden Vortex units that appeared is unknown. No description of the exact number exists. It is only stated that Zaft underwater mobile suits charged into a swarm of enemies. Since the word swarm is used, it seems certain that there were multiple units. The exact outcome of the battle is unknown. The scene changes right as the battle begins. However, the Gulf Crusher pirate is described as having successfully infiltrated the submarine dock in exchange for the lives of every member of the underwater unit. It seems that Forbidden Vortex successfully wiped out Zaft's underwater mobile suits. Of course, the Gulf Crusher is not a mobile suit designed for underwater combat. It is likely that it infiltrated the enemy base by hiding behind its allies' explosions. The number of Forbidden Vortex units that survived this battle is completely unknown, as is the number that were shot down. It is also unknown how many units were produced in total. The Forbidden Vortex units that appeared in the TV anime series were destroyed by Zaft underwater mobile suits. Perhaps the weapons and energy had been depleted after repeated battles. Finally, I would like to offer my personal perspective on the origins of Forbidden Vortex. Personally, I don't think it was necessary to create a new mobile suit called Forbidden Vortex. After all, in the Universal Century setting, it is common sense to prepare spare parts when operating mobile suits. This was first mentioned in a TV anime in Zeta Gundam. The protagonist's organization successfully steals 3 mobile suits called Gundam Mark II from the enemy organization. They chose to operate one of them and kept the remaining 2 for spare parts. In Universal Century Stories, it is common for 3 units worth of parts to be kept in order to operate one mobile suit in perfect condition. Seed is set in the Cosmic Era world, which is different from the Universal Century, but similar rules could still exist. After all replacement parts are needed to quickly repair mobile suits damaged on the battlefield. It is definitely more efficient to replace large parts such as arms and legs entirely than to perform extremely delicate work in the middle of battle to repair internal equipment. Therefore, it would not have been unusual for Forbidden Blue to assemble units from spare parts in addition to operational machines. And that is not all. Forbidden Blue is an experimental machine, but not a unique custom design. As long as enough money is spent, it can be reproduced as many times as needed. A massive organization like Logos, which is set to manipulate the global economy from behind the scenes, would probably be able to do so. Therefore, even without creating a new setting called Forbidden Vortex, Forbidden Blue could have appeared without contradiction by simply adding a sentence such as it was reproduced or it was assembled from spare parts. However, the very idea of a new mobile suit being born from this kind of mistake is also a Gundam series tradition. It is also fascinating that Forbidden Blue, which should already have finished its role as an experimental machine, was strengthened and gained a new form. That concludes this study. Thank you for watching until the end. I'll see you again in the next episode.